Welcome to Breakfast with Bob. My name is Bob Babbitt. We are here at the ITU World Championship in beautiful Chicago. We are presented by Epson, and you're watching us on triathlete.com. Our first guest here in Chicago, 6 times on the podium in 2015, ranked number 2 in the world, Katie Zaferes. Katie, how the heck are you?
Yeah, I'm great, Bob. How are you?
I am wonderful. So you didn't get to do this race last year?
No, I was injured, so this is my first time racing in Chicago for WTS, second time since I've started racing in the U.S. for WTS.
So this year has been huge breakthrough for you. What was the difference? What led to 6 podiums, number 2 in the world? Before the season, did you feel that was possible?
I guess I really didn't think about it. I thought that I hadn't quite shown what I was capable of in the past 2 years, but I got married in January. I switched coaches for this year. I changed a lot, and I don't really know what was the actual thing that made everything great this year, but I think just everything came together. I'm happy, I'm healthy, and that's what makes it a consistent season.
Was there one race where you realized that you had stepped it up a notch, that you were maybe a little bit better than you thought you might be?
I think just the first race of the season in Abu Dhabi, I was really stoked on that, and then when I did it again for the second race in Auckland, and Auckland kind of kicked my butt last year when I did it. So when I came back and the course actually felt like manageable, and
is it because it's hilly?
Yeah, it's a super hilly course.
Yeah.
It's probably the hardest course on the circuit. Yeah, and so doing well at that course, one that I struggled with before, also kind of confirmed. I was like, okay, I'm doing something this year.
Now, take us back. You were a steeplechaser at Syracuse. Did you have much triathlon background?
No, I had always done a triathlon with my dad since 2007. We did a Father's Day triathlon, but it wasn't in any sort of, I would never have called myself a triathlete at that point.
It was fun. It was something to do with Dad.
It was something to do with Dad once a year. And then after I finished with running, I knew I wasn't going to be a professional runner, but Barb Lindquist contacted me for getting into triathlon, and it sparked my interest, and I was like, okay, well, I'm going to give this a shot, and I did, and I love it. I love the sport. I love where it takes me, and I love the people I meet.
What I like about this is, look at Gwen Jorgensen's number 1 in the world, and 2010, she really wasn't a triathlete, right? When she first got into this stuff, she came from a running and swimming background. You came from a steeplechase background and running background. When you look at the success that you guys have had, do you wonder sometimes maybe it's better getting into it later rather than starting when you're 8, 9, 10 years old, because you could sort of burn out?
Yeah, for me it's been really exciting because it's new, but I also think I've kind of been really fortunate in getting a lot from all the development programs that USAT has to offer. So me being new to the sport has been accelerated with a lot of help from a lot of different people and a lot of funding from a lot of different programs. So for me, it worked out to get into the sport later, but at the same time, I really think that getting into the sport at a young age, like that can work too.
Exactly. So when you're looking at this particular race, number 1, 2, and 3 in the world are Americans. The women on the American side have just taken it up another notch. How special is that for you when the 3 of you end up on the podium together?
It's really awesome. Like the first time it happened was in Gold Coast this year, and then it happened again in London. And I just remember last year in London when Gwen and Sarah went 1-2, and I was off the podium.
Right.
I knew I wanted that spot. I knew I wanted to be there with my country women, and to fulfill that this year, when you're standing on the podium and you're listening to the first place's national anthem play, and it accounts for all 3 of you, I mean, that's just a special time. And even coming into Chicago, ranked 1, 2, and 3, like it's amazing part of history to be a part of.
So Rio was a qualifier for next year's Olympics.
Yeah.
And in Rio, Gwen, you guys had to finish top 8, but besides finishing top 8, you had to be 1 or 2 from your country. And Sarah True and Gwen were 1 and 2, and then you were, what, 6th, I think, overall there?
Yep, 6th.
6th place, so 3rd American, but any other country, you'd be on the team.
Yeah.
How hard was that?
It was hard, but at the same time, being as dominant as we've been, we knew one person wasn't going to make it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that wasn't me, but also fortunately, I do have another chance. There's a lot of sports that only take 2 people.
Right.
So for me, I'm pretty lucky, and I'm happy that triathlon takes 3 women, and it just makes me more hungry to get that spot for next year.
For next year, how do you get that spot? What is the qualification process? Do they pick another event in early spring?
Yeah, so USA Triathlon will pick an event, and whatever event they pick, the women have to be top 3 at that event or on the podium. And then if that doesn't happen, it goes down to a discretionary spot, and we have a point system that will help choose the spot. I've set myself up pretty well for that, just with how I still finished in Rio, and then also my Stockholm's finish, and whatever happens on Friday here will also play into that.
After this race, I'm assuming your season is over. Come to Kona, drink some drinks with umbrellas in them, enjoy yourself, have some fun. What will your off season and when will you start notching it up again?
I haven't even talked about that with my coach yet, just because this season's not done yet.
Yeah.
I imagine I'll get I would like to say at least 2 weeks off, Joel. 2 weeks. But maybe even more. I really don't know.
Now, when you talk to some of your friends from college who might have lost track a little bit, and Katie, the steeplechaser, then all of a sudden they're like, wait a second, you're what? You're going to Olympics in this other sport? Did you run into some folks who had no idea that you've made this life change?
Actually, I guess with Facebook, Twitter,
everybody knows.
Everybody knows everything now. But
no secrets.
It's been really neat getting the support from friends and family and teammates from not just from college, but also from high school, of supporting me on my journey to try and make the Olympics. And it really means something to me. And
I love it.
Especially one of the great things about competing here in the U.S. for the grand final is I've realized there is the biggest support network here for us. And I mean, that seems like a giveaway because you're in your own country, but it's been really neat to actually experience and have all those people rooting for you. Well,
and that's interesting because we had a race here in Chicago last year, and then San Diego the 2 years before that. But before that, we didn't have an ITU race in the States. How important is it to have a major event in the States?
I think it's incredibly important. I mean, I get jealous over the people who get to go and be in their area of their home, their
home
region.
Country, sure.
And we're never home. This is the first time I've been home in 9 months. And to actually race here where you have all your, my friends and family can come to this race.
Right.
And even watching, because a lot of people after Edmonton, they came and trained in the area. So watching them enjoy being in the U.S. and training in the U.S. has been a lot of fun. And even watching my fellow USA teammates writing, okay, 4-hour drive to Chicago,
let's go.
It's the nicest commute they'll have for a race.
Absolutely. Katie, thanks so much for taking time.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a great race on Friday. When the heck do you guys race on a Friday?
Friday at 5.
Friday at 5 in downtown Chicago. I'm sure we won't disrupt much traffic. It shouldn't be a problem at all. Not at all. Again, this is Breakfast with Bob. My name is Bob Babbitt. We are airing on triathlete.com. We are brought to you by Epson, and we are at the ITU World Championship in Chicago. Hold on, everyone. We will be right back.